Okay, so today's demonstration, we're going to demonstrate what happens with the reaction between baking soda and vinegar. So baking soda is sodium bicarbonate and vinegar is acetic acid. So I'm going to start by putting some baking soda. I'm going to wrap it in a paper towel here so I get kind of a nice plume here. Now I'm going to take our glass here. I'm going to put this in the sink here because there's probably a chance that this could be a little bit on the messy side, so we'll see what happens here. So now we have our vinegar. We'll pour some down in that. You can see it's bubbling pretty good down there at the bottom. I didn't know if that was going to launch out of the top there. We'll put a little more baking soda down in there. You see, once baking soda makes contact with that, it gets pretty fuzzy there. You can see where it could. And there we go, we got it kind of, so right now it's releasing a whole bunch of carbon dioxide, but you get the idea here. When the two mix together, it is a very rapid reaction. And the next step here we'll go over and kind of describe what happens with what the reaction is itself.
So what we know about vinegar is that it's an acid. It's not one of the strong acids. Its formula is HC2H3O2, which is acetic acid. And as we can see here, this is has a hydrogen to donate in this reaction. Our base is sodium bicarbonate, and that's NaHCO3. And so those are the two that we mix together. So our molecular equation, we have sodium bicarbonate in an aqueous solution, and we have our acetic acid in an aqueous solution, and then this produces, when the two are mixed together, we have a sodium acetate, which is an aqueous solution. Then we have carbonic acid, and then if we look down here below, carbonic acid, H2CO3, quickly degrades into both water and CO2 gas, and that's why the bubbling and the fizzing that happens there is the gas being released off that. Most acid base, a lot of the acid base neutralizations don't produce a gas, but this particular one does with the CO2 gas. So at the bottom here are what we end up with is the sodium bicarbonate with the acetic acid turns into sodium acetate, water, and CO2 gas. So the net ionic equation, when these two are in an aqueous solution, we have the positive sodium ions, we have the negative bicarbonate ion, we have positive hydrogen ion, and then we have the rest of the acetic, or we have the acetate here ion, and then that turns into sodium aqueous. We have the acetate ion, liquid water, and CO2 gas. So our net ionic equation is going to be positive hydrogen, negative HCO3, which is the carbonate, which ends up yielding liquid water and CO2 gas. So I had hoped that this had been a little bit more of a profound kind of explosion like the like the old volcano, the vinegar and baking soda volcano, but it was still pretty decent there. I imagine that if the vinegar had hit that bunch of baking soda a little bit quicker, it would have been a lot more kind of shooting out of the top there. So that's what happens when we mix baking soda and vinegar together, and that's the equation. And thank you for watching.